afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, to the war-torn streets of La Glace. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 here. Between, in the north, Hama, fighting for the Soviet Union for the glory of Comrade Stalin and socialism. Forming up the 27th Mechanized Brigade with Giap Rifle, Giap Motor and Terror Tactics versus Sturmtiger Giap. Fighting for the Oberkommando West für Deutschland, für das Reich, for the Fallschirmpanzerdivision, Hermann Göring. Got Sturm Pioneers there. Truck following up there with some Volksgunners arriving here as well for Mr. Giap. Important here being ground engineers swiftly advancing. And we got double countries there for Hama, no early buildings, also no sign of early doctrines. Infantry here, more or less bulletins, although one is shock trooper and otherwise there's Panzerschreck and mine bulletins, both to make them a bit cheaper than the average. Sturm Pioneers into the centre there, could of course consider laying down some barbed wire here and there to make it harder for the enemy to move about there. For Mr. Giap, no, he ignores the victory point, rushes into the building, kicks in doors, searches the cupboards, the windows, mostly the windows, so to spot up for any Russians. Ah, scheiße, there's never anything left good to loot. That's not what we're here for, Heinz, stop it! We get into trouble, we're not Russians or Americans, you know. But I just want some souvenirs. Wrong time. Now shut up and focus. Concerts versus Sturm Pioneers there. More concerts arriving there for Hama. Fuel point there secured. Fuel point also secured here for Giap. There's some Volksgunners. Truck moving ahead here. Not entirely sure what he's moving it for there. Sturm Pioneers falling into the building. Then further falling back here as more Russian infantry arrives. Giap pulling back further and further. Kicking into the doors to the next building. We got German infantry around there. He's got lots of Volksgunners. There's no Wagner. Say no additional Sturm Pioneers. Considering the map here, sort of, well, not urban, but definitely not huge tracts of open land. I mean, another Sturm Pioneer squad could perhaps, you know, function quite well here for Giap. There we go, back and forth here, firing through windows, buildings, and the likes. Man's left there to sort of deal with things on that side, while the other ones, you know, despite having a free shot in a sense, you know, of course they're not doing that, but of course that's rather how buildings work. There's basically assigned positions. In theory, you can open up others, you know, by blowing up. Say if there's, you know, not a lot of windows, then for some explosions you can actually open up, you know, free space to shooting. Though, of course, pulling it off is easier said than done. I remember back in coming here, they sort of brag with, you know, oh, you could say, you know, blow apart certain parts of the house, you know, can there's more, you know, free space to shoot the buzz. In reality, you know, it's not quite that easy to sort of actually pull off, and he's not without knocking down the entire thing. Special Rifle Command here for Hama, digging a pit in the snow and putting up a nice little tent there. Footsteps falling back here with more arriving. Not even any losses there, but looks like Giap might have something in mind. Sturm Pioneers could of course try to flank in. Perhaps he's sort of planning, you know, to attack from several points, then falls back the Russians that way. That could actually work out there for Mr. Giap. Battle Group headquarters going back in base, and we got, by the way, both sides have chosen doctrines here within 3 minutes. Luftwaffe and Terror Tactics. Both sides with some elite infantry, no, not all sides with some specialized armor or artillery. There's some kind of air support, I suppose. We got an M301 there on the way for Hama with a conscript squad there arriving to support further on. Sturm Pioneers holding up there, but not really doing anything besides, you know, securing the cafe. Consul saying about their Volksgunners moving in. And we got an MG-34 here being locked forwards by Giap's men. His merry band of MG crewmen. Minor shooter here with the consul having the advantage of the Volksgunners. They were already a bit bled out from there. They're not quite in cover there, so there might be a small chance, but neither are the Volksgunners really, so not going to look good there, I fear, not going to look good. Folks, they had sort of tried to flank, in this case they're quickly caught by an M301. We're seeing mines being laid down here. As long as you can avoid getting spotted, should move though. Before the M301 arrives, they go retreating, and there we go. Oh, damn, so close to hitting the mine there. But what if there's mine comrade? But what if there isn't? I can't decide. You're always such a baby, Sergei. So that's... And there we go, abandoned. A bit of luck there for Hama though. No, the scout car has seen better days. Reinforcing, we got our Academy effort on the way. Obviously with the arrival of the M301 anti-tank weapons will be necessary. Since, you know, where there's one there might be more even. So quickly securing the centre, the right hand side. Overall, Giap sort of got a nice sort of chunk of the map, but he doesn't quite have full control of it. A lot of forces pushed back. There's still the threat of the M301. Most of the troops being pushed forward, with the MD-34 leading the way, a bit more risky. I mean, if he gets caught in a bad position, and that could easily be it there for Giap. There you go, moving in, kicking out windows and the likes. Always nice with a bit of vandalism. Feeling the family up for Hama. Noting by the way, no upgrades for the conscripts, no Molotovs, no anti-tank grenades. Get preparing here for an assault. Basically, Schwerpunkt here forming up, the MD-34 sort of forming up a strong point, with the rest of the troops are moving in there under cover in case someone tries to flank in. But of course, that does leave Giap with a slight problem. He doesn't have anything guarding his viewpoint or his victory point. No note here, sandbags have been paired to help him hold the victory point there. Good work. Slow advance in there, can't fall back as they're basically overwhelmed, outnumbered. No one attacking from the south there though. He's basically sort of just trying as hard as he can to push through here the centre. And even then, it's not exactly any sort of really enthusiasm. It's just sort of a bit of a slow shoot-up. Hama on the other hand, having none of that, he's quickly escalating the fight there with shock troopers. Let several sandbag positions here though from Giap, actually not bad. He's basically prepared for further fights ahead. In that sense, of course, he could also have done that with some positions with some barbed wire like. For example, barbed wire here could have made it difficult for the M301 to also move in that way. But he's got the centre here ultimately though. Harbour couldn't really defend it, he lacked support weapons. And overall the windows weren't quite positioned to really guard up against that. So overall there, push through. But Hama is not the type to give up, so he immediately strikes for other points where obviously Giap isn't, which of course also happens to be the more valuable points too. And okay, we got here Hama taking up, within the first 7 minutes. That's good. La Arma on the way there, so we're going to make things a bit more miserable there for Giap. Early half track maybe, or T70. He's got the resources though, more for a half track, or T70 could also work out. And of course, it's the Kednev and the Pantrack to take care of, but I mean, considering the slightly, more again urbane environment, there might be a slight chance they can pull off as long as we've got a clear idea of where the anti-tank weapons are. They can sort of use the build, so try and avoid them, and the rockets, if they're striking infantry, that might be slightly exposed elsewhere. Giap though continues his trek eastwards there, setting up strong points against around buildings to make it difficult for people to move about, and the likes, even some infantry. And interesting enough here, Hama does not continue towards the fuel point, they just not press. So it looks like he's rushing the M301 over here to deal with the movements on the eastern flank here by Giap, instead sending out an infantry squad at a much slower pace though. Nothing from the tank of a tank command there from Hama. He's got the resources more or less now for either the T70 or half check, which is then upgrades with the AA mount. The M301 continues here, shock troopers pushing away the Fultz grenadiers, right flank efforts there by Giap swiftly falling apart. And right here, Giap might have misclicked or something, although the kid might have moved ahead there with no real infantry support, no screen, no escort. And is quickly swarmed by the conscripts, threatening to tear it apart, and even threatening to hand it over there to Hama. Oh dear, I'm not entirely sure what went wrong there for Giap. Either way though, that is not good. That is one anti-tank up in there. Pretty much tied up with a nice little ribbon for Comrade Stalin. So right there, and we also see there a full squad has was lost. So right now Giap is actually taking quite severe losses to Hama, who's actually adding a T70 light tank here. Do have a Schwerpanzer quarters here, so Obersoldaten could actually be an idea here with some light machine guns or Fallschirmjägers. You could also try and go for an early Lux, but apparently you should try and aim for a quick Panzer IV. And instead leave the Obersoldaten and the Fallschirmjäger sort of handle the infantry. The Lux, for example, is not really going to do much save against an early T70. Of course, we'll have to see what Giap here does as well. Which includes apparently not taking that M301 too seriously. That's definitely, but looks like in this case though, Hama did not pursue this jump. Pioneers of Giap there got a bit lucky, but the centre has collapsed, and we see here swift advance there by Hama. The only thing that can stall them here is basically the flak emplacement on the Schwerpanzer quarters. T70 moving about. They grabbed another Storm Pioneer squad, some more assault rifles there. He's thinking though he doesn't go for Fudge, he may go also down when they are actually available. Instead goes for the Storm Pioneers now. And he could have gone for those I think earlier. Just sort of decision chain there, I suppose you can call it, for Giap. Not entirely sure what motivates him towards choosing the Storm Pioneers at this very moment. And the looks, I mean, he's clearly intentional to deal with the light vehicles and infantry, but I mean, it's nothing to sort of specifically deal with the T-70. He needs Panzerjets and the Raketenwerfer, but well, this is also a bit weird because Hama apparently just decided to either ignore it or basically managed to overlook it. Or perhaps took it as sort of, you know, modern art. I don't know. But MD Fed opening against the Comscope Storm Pioneers out in the open. Need to switch over by the way to put away the mines, which should have increased their firepower. Mine engagement, we've got the influence strike in behind here. He really is. But there you go, taking up in the chest, there you go, Luke's joining in. Good little assault team, caught the M31, finally wrecking it. Might see the engineers who wiped out. He might see his turn around here. There we go. Engineers, scout car, done in a matter of moments. Still need to grab that Raketenwerfer, prepare though for the T-70. 2 kills already claimed by its 45mm gun. There you go, Luke's moving in. He's not recruited the Raketenwerfer though. T-70 going to get some good hits there. Can go in. There we go. Storm Pioneers. Oh dear. Engineers moving hit. They might grab the Raketenwerfer. There we go. There we go. Finally grabs it, but it might actually be too late now. Looks like some more losses there. Conscious in the building, not got 12, but with the T-70 supporting, he should be able to stall any advance there from Giap as long as not, say, a lot of Panzerjets arrive or something else to push back the T-70. Looks like he's going to make another push here for the Raketenwerfer. But right here, of course, we do see an argument for the fact that perhaps he should have not gone for the looks, but instead the Panzer IV, you know, thrown in some other infantry of perhaps a higher quality in the Storm Pioneers. Not to say they are bad. Still, something a bit different here to sort of make up for the looks, while he then of course went for something a bit heavier than a Panzer II equipped for reconnaissance. There were, by the way, many variants of the Panzer II, including some with a 50mm gun, though that was in an open-top turret. There were also some variants that actually had 80mm of armour, but still the 2cm gun, so little fun there, little fun fact. But this is his assault gun arriving for Hama to probably help deal with the looks, but also bombard a bit, and could of course also be some foresight there in case, you know, a Panzer IV does manage to arrive. So quick push up the centre, Roll Giap sort of grabbing a nice chunk of the map now. While Hama did a lot of damage, it wasn't quite enough to sort of really, you know, rob Giap of any serious momentum or initiative. But there you go, so the assault gun arrives through the snow.
Sector under attack.
Troops moving about there. Ooh, surprisingly quiet at the moment. No real engagement between the two sides. Giap is just taking territory. Hama's preparing for another larger scale assault. We're sort of seeing a push in from the centre. MG-34, full grenadiers. S-6 might consider bombarding the machine gun there. Otherwise, the T-70 won't get much farther due to the support there of the Volksguns with the Panzerjets as well. Looks they're coming up the other angle. There we go. S-6 fires and misses. Hits a insignificant piece of shrubbery instead of the German light tank. Got the T-70 moving up support instead. Looks like the assault on the centre's failed. Instead, we've got an assault on the right flank as well. Raketenwerfer supporting the 2 conscript squads. Giap looks falling back, which actually leaves the west a bit more open there to advance from Hama again.
Use propaganda against the enemy again.
Trio propaganda unlocked, ready to deliver horrifying pamphlets of paper at the enemy. Shock was there getting suppressed. Raketenwerfer supporting the Storm Pioneers. And there you go, get it, go to the Raketenwerfer. Might be able to do some more serious damage, forcing it back on a more lengthy basis. There we go, Giap's actually gone up to artillery. We got a light infantry gun arriving there. quite a bit of manpower, but should have bombarded on the position there of Hama. That is good, that is good. More rockets colliding with the T-70, forcing it back there through the snow. Compelled to pull back. Oh, lest it get burnt a tiny bit. Of course, there we go, light push there, lots of Panzerjets and of course the Lux. Metzing's running again for the light recon, but there he goes to quickly walls it off with a quick shot of the 76.2mm gun. Almost got it there, in fact. But the Germans almost got them in return. So now they're counter-offensive. Still, right side has worked out here for Hama compared to the left and centre. The Giap was able to hold the lines quite successfully. In fact, he's actually trying to knock out the tank of the tank command here. Now that is a surprise move. There you go, the barrage and the infantry assault there basically compels Giap there to pull back his infantry and his Macedon for lest he hands out more anti-tank weapons. Additionally, use a right to speed up the repairs. That is good, that is good. For Giap, we're not really seeing much else at the moment. He's closing in on the Panzer IV though, which is good. Repairing his Lux. The line for the gun there, slightly pulling back as well. Centre has one forward to be abandoned, though. There's still the MG44, which is interesting enough not getting orders to retreat. Yeah, Herr Feldwebel, why is everybody else retreating? I don't know. Probably, dysentery? I don't know. But we didn't get any orders to retreat, so we should stay. To the last man. I don't find that comforting, Herr Feldwebel. It's only us two anyways.
The battle is about to commence. All in with the Panzerschreck. Prepare the battery. Stove out. Make ready to move.
Again, you know, there's these large periods of calm between both sides, neither really sort of pushing in aggressively, though, in a sense both sides are building up, preparing for the next strike. We got a half-track here. I imagine he might add an AM out. There we go. Quad 50 calibers there for the AA half-track, which is definitely going to help harm their vessel Giap's infantry, though of course there's now an increasing large amount there of Panzerschrecks have blown things apart. Of course, the fun thing about the Panzerschreck is, you know, they were organised into more specific anti-tank teams, so the more common everyman weapon was actually the Panzerfaust. Little fun fact there, by the way, which is also much more commonly available. Several million, of course, happened to be made throughout the war. A couple of million of them, or at least several 100,000, was probably, I believe, actually captured by the Russians. But used them mostly actually, and this is interesting, to just clear up bunkers. They didn't use them so much to sort of deal with vehicles. Apparently they sort of used them more as a bunker buster weapon. There you go, look, striking in, so they're moving out. Larger swing move, got the air there supporting now. Larger conglomeration there of, well, equipment from Hama on the right hand side. The west, though, very open again. There's been no real effort here from Giap to secure his viewpoint a bit further. Then they use those sandbags he's prepared previously. In this case, there's an awful lot of angry Russians and not quite enough to stop them. There we go, pushed away. Good hit there, Vettich on the T-70. Finding here, pushing forwards again.
We now have access to additional battlefield options.
We got 336 victory points there versus 421 for Giap. And there we go, unit wipe! Panzerschreck dropped. If he gets another wipe, that actually be catastrophic. There we go, 2 Volker squads wiped. 2 Panzerschrecks lost, one with actually a chance of ending up in the hands of Hama. Now that is definitely what you call a catastrophic blow there to Giap. Well, perhaps not catastrophic, that might be exaggerating things, but it's definitely not small stuff either. But there you go, he's finally getting a Panzer IV, and in a slightly more peculiar method there, he's going for additional Volksgrenadiers, no Fallschirmjägers, no Orbison, despite having the resources and the manpower for it. You know, he seems to, and you're not entirely sure why he went for that there, actually. I would expect, you know, some, besides the Panzer IV, Obersoldaten or Fallschirmjägers to support him. So colour me surprised there. Colour me surprised. I'm not entirely sure what colour that is. Maybe purple? Anyways. Command's going down there to limit the moves they've got on the left flank, but we're certainly seeing that Hama's been cautious. He's not sort of, you know, making any wild strokes here at the moment. It's sort of these slower, larger set-piece moments he's sort of going for. And Giap sort of seems to, you know, be a bit more the same, you know. Neither plays sort of the aggressive blitzkrieg type. They're more the Montgomery type of man, it seems. To a certain extent, you know. a lot less arrogant, I imagine.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
There you go, Panther 4 arrives. I was filming J. Pinned by machine gun going up there for added anti-infantry firepower and extra protection. Ja, do not worry, Herr Lieutenant. I use protection. The MG42, the best in the German army. Comes a caught. No Molotov still. He's only using anti-tank grenades right here in center. Well, looks like he missed out on the opportunity there. Bit of missed. Overall victory point still in the advantage of Giap. Seriously. So Panther 4 moving about, ready to crush some rations. Another assault gun there running for Hama, which will certainly help there versus the Panther 4, the Panzerkampfwagen. Though the tombstones are getting severely desecrated, and there you go, explosions there. I guess some mines or some artillery. Light gun there ready to bombard the communist swine. While the Russians, of course, eager to put down the fascist scum with the might of the Soviet army. That's what's striking up there. He's not trying to charge straight into the SS-6, etc. You're looking for other weaker targets. They still ends up easily within the arc of fire there of the assault gun. Good hit there from the assault gun. Veteran D2 actually came over, shoots back. Other assault gun there ready to support. Panther 4 less than half health. Need to get up there on a more permanent base. Oh no! Hama there was way too slow, and his assault gun was not out as a assault. That's going to hurt Hama a bit here with the Panther 4. Well, as soon as the Panther 4 gets repaired, looks like they are still pioneers ready to sort of do the job there. Time though here for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is Hama is very much contained here by Giap. The only advantage here that Hama so far has is, in doing the fighting, he's not suffered, say, as huge losses as Giap. So in that sense, he's have some chance of sort of pushing back. Of course, a large amount of territory also means there's more to defend, and in that sense, it's all concentrated in the southeast or east. So of course, if he pushes west, he might have a good chance of quickly making a lot of progress and maybe sort of catching Giap a bit off guard if he decides to do so. If he's going to keep pushing down, it's going to be a bit more risky. Of course, he could still pull it off, but the casualties will most likely be higher. We're also seeing here that Giap has finally inserted some more elite infantry. In this case, the Fallschirmjägers have arrived to assist the front line und die Division. So that should do him a bit of good as well. Otherwise, I think you should try and aim for either another Panther 4 as quickly as possible. You could also aim for a Panther, in case he's more worried about vehicles and armor, beyond, just saying the Panther, well, he's got already there. But otherwise, I think another Panther 4 here would be a very good choice. Two Panther 4 should be able to deliver a lot of damage, deal with infantry and the light vehicles here we're seeing at the moment from Hama. If Hama takes out, of course, Panthers will definitely be necessary. That is, if he goes to Initiative 5, in which case, if he were to take up, he'd probably go for Initiative 5, of course. For Hama, taking out and going for Initiative 5 would be a pretty damn good idea. He's got one Academy for Initiative 6 at the moment. Initiative 5 would be good. Then again, his resources are a bit limited. So another Initiative 6, at least for the time being, might work out. He's got a lot of manpower, so fuel caches would be a good addition there. Otherwise, maybe a support weapon company and some support weapons, field guns, mortars, maxims, anything you'd sort of help promote territory, but also push back Giap a bit further. In particular, the sort of slower pace, could benefit from a couple of mortars, sort of just constantly fire away there at Giap's positions. But I definitely think, more effort needs to be made on the left flank. He needs to grab territory through there again, so, force Giap to have to detach forces from the east towards the west. So let's return to the fighting. Ever intensity in the east. 14 kills, vetting 2 on the looks. More tombstones getting shattered. Slight tactical mistake. They're caught by the SM6 and the T70. It was losing. Even got punched there by the Panzerek. And there we go. Looks kaput. Going to be joining all those already dead in the cemetery. Church has seen better days there. There's dead men sticking out of the church tower. I wouldn't be surprised if the church itself is filled with corpses. There we go. Machine gunners and the likes, I imagine. Looks like the main door has long since gone. Back door? I don't know. There you go. Panther 4's the way to support there. Machine guns and main gun firing away. Need to get out of the church soon. That thing is not going to last much longer. Close there. Kednev hold up. Gets good on the Panzer IV, forcing Giap there to be a bit more careful. Interesting enough, he's not applying more pressure from the west side. You know, he could try and get behind Hama's lines and do a lot of damage that way, but looks like Giap is more sort of favouring the CoH2 sledgehammer approach there from the front. Got another MD-34 there arriving. Place one lost to the communists. Fudging is doing what they can in this. They're taking quite severe losses. Right, veterans on the light infantry gun. It kills there. Gute Arbeit, gute Arbeit. Panzer almost ready. More troops moving ahead. One being taken. Forces need to be careful there. Veteran 24, 11 kills. Panzer 4 ready. Time to gun firing. Granate. Almost got the shock troopers there, although Giap still maintaining map control, but we are finally seeing, you know, Hama begin to shift forces towards the west again, which of course might force Giap to attack forces from the east. There we go, support room company has arrived, as you can see, as he's getting a field gun, which is very much something that requires a support room company. Building collapsed, looks like a unit was wiped out. You've had for the men to hold the centre for a bit there. Even as the Russians keep up their assault. T-70 sitting away there from the road, ready for some repairs as soon as they can arrive. And there you go, quick push again here for the eastern main road. Eastern Boulevard, I don't know. Panzer 4 moving up here. SC6 force back. There's forces with Panzer 4 support moving in. Closing in Veterans 1 there, good. Good overall, most of the fight again still here. Finally moving on the west, moving on towards there. Sturmpine is arriving. He's still forgotten to put away the minesweeper. Come on, Giap, that's one assault rifle gone. In this case, though, Hama loses it completely at the sight of a minesweeper. Lost the air half-track too. Now this is quickly turning ugly. Almost units up there with the Panzer 4. Now Giap is really tucking the visors there on Hama's thumbs. Bit of shooting. Further artillery fire there, Panzer 4 joins in, firing from a distance. Moving up there, plenty of infantry support, some brave Fallschirmjägers, but there you go, quick response from a field gun. CIS-3. This is basically meaning it was made in a factory named after Stalin, I believe. Or something along those lines. Could apply to field guns, I believe trucks were named like that as well. Little fun fact. Comes striking west. Nice hit in the rear of the Panzer 4. Veterans 1 though. Giap's got the resource for another Panzer 4 here. I definitely think he should go for it. You see no sign of any heavier armour, so I mean another Panzer 4 would be good here. Would help with the infantry, more of the larger armour here. Of course, armors would be more aggressive, but Giap for some reason is just flooding resources continually. Like to see another Panzer 4. I imagine Hama would not like to see another Panzer 4. Got another engagement. Still forgetting to put away the minesweepers. Come on, Giap. Don't forget that. It's definitely limiting the combat capability of the Storm Pioneers if you forget to sort of put away the minesweeper. In particular with that many Russian enemies. But there you go, Panzer 4 to the rescue. Panzer 4 to the rescue. Flooding more resources. Is Giap aiming for a Panther here? I wonder. I mean, it could certainly work in conjunction with the Panzer 4, but at the current moment, I wouldn't say there's really a deep need for a Panther. Another Panzer 4, I think, would do the job better at the moment. Or at least just as well. All of a sudden arriving. So he's calling in some further elite infantry, though this time not quite Fallschirmjäger. Artillery firing. Hama is once more successfully forcing back Giap step by step here. Folks making ready for a flank here. Good work there if you can pull it off successfully. Panzer, however, chronically need repairs. Still no sign of any armor or anything there from Giap. What could he be thinking? What could he be thinking? Orbitals are almost done. I mean, both sides, they're both cautious of each other. They're not, willing to commit far against each other there. Which certainly gives you sort of an interesting sort of play for it. To a certain extent, of course, now the Sentinel, of course, some might consider it boring, as you know, it's not all, all-time fighting there. It's also a lot more deliberate in some sense, the engagements are basically just largely because of that. There's also a lot fewer sort of minor skirmishes here and there. There you go, the Orbitals are arriving here at the front line. No light machine gun though, which rather begs the question why did he go for the Orbital Dardan in the first place, if not for those LMG-34s. Maximum covering up here, covering the centre, victory points. Not really in the favour of Hama at this moment. 74 versus 388. He's doing his best to cover up things there. Storm going ahead, but they're quickly suppressed by the Maxim. We've got the assault gun ready to bombard as well. And we've got the strike here at the other third victory point. So overall here we're seeing Giap sort of trying to extend Hama at the moment. And more importantly, he's just bleed him out like a pig. That has been stuck, obviously. The great big butcher's knife. Fighter makers need to get out of there. Oh, they actually were in the other build. Oh, that one was also pretty close to collapsing, actually. But it's actually rare you see people make use of this building. It's not really effective for infantry and for machine guns. I mean, it's not really good either. It's just there, I suppose. I mean, it's sort of more building you sort of quickly move from point here to there, I suppose, or here to there. So you get around, for example, say there's an MG here, creep up here, get through there, and then that way, but, Okay, if you're about to collapse, come on, Giap, don't waste your men there. Sturmpines have got to get wiped out on the right flank. Another assault in their line for Hama. Results from good resources. Got the T-70 there by the looks of it. Finally wrecked it. Put it out of commission. Panzer IV though, not operating as aggressively as he could. He's also really throwing out resources. He's playing for a King Tiger, but he doesn't have a mechanized regiment. Nor is he training for fuel from it, so... I mean, come on, Giap, make up your mind. You're really flooding a lot of resources here, which could, I think, give you an otherwise tactical edge now versus Hama. So, I'm not really sure why Giap is doing what he's doing at the moment. Also, incendiary rounds here would be good. But looks like Giap is having none of that there. Meanwhile, Hama is just sort of slowly ratcheting up the pressure here versus Giap. Though. The victory point situation could still be notably better. He's down to 55 versus 366. It's not exactly a marginal difference between the two sides. Another MG-34 there for Giap versus Hama's forces. More map control that way. And there we go, the assault commenced on the centre victory point, though it's going to be pretty harsh there. Lots of nasty Russians. By the way, Giap or Hama could be drilling down some sandbags to still hold the northern part of the town square, I think. Could do them a lot of good. Quick bit of shooting there, Orbitals taking losses. Quick Gebalteladung. The result is basically blown up tombstones, no dead people beneath them, at least contemporary did. Orbitals need to retreat, they're down to 2 men, low on health. Not exactly a positive looking situation there for Giap's Obersoldaten. And there we go, Panzer quickly engaged here by the 2 SU-6s, 1 SU-2. Anti-tank grenades almost got the Panther force trying to blitz out of there. There's no way out of there, there's no way out of there. He's finally getting a Panther once he's about to lose his Panther 4. If he just had another Panther 4, this situation probably could look different for our. It's too late now, his Panther 4 is a smouldering wreckage. Black smoke pouring forth from the burning hulk of metal. MG34, there's conscript, Panther close to halfway down there, so that's just going to give Giap some heavy armor there. Versus Hama. Hama's also flung resources. He could take up, I suppose at this point he could consider KVH to deal with the infantry, or you know, he could just get some more lighter vehicles from his tank command, but from Hama there's not really much happening. I hope he's not getting the same with Giap, which is, you know, once he's about to do something else, he finally gets something. MG34 there by secured by Hama to help him secure his territory. Besides the one Maximum Scott. Church there looking even more ready to collapse there. Quite some brave engineers fighting from a building they ought to know is structurally not very secure. So there you go, Panther arriving, Panzerkampfwagen 5, Panzer. Right, up so far to land. Got another half trip there, perhaps AA again. No infantry allowed there to be shot at from the Panther commander, it seems. Not sure why. I think we'd have done a lot more damage to all this infantry, particularly with some pinman machine gun. Instead, we're seeing a damaged engine. HSXs, Panzer 6. Oh. I mean, right here, of course, we also see another problem with the way, you know, Giap handled things there with the Panther 4. Again, he basically, you know, sat on a lot of resources, means the pressure increased versus him, so once the Panther 4 collapsed, he desperately needs to rush in the Panthers to try and stabilise the situation, which, of course, just meant he sort of recklessly moved it in. Low on victory, points of feet, get away with it. So again, we're sort of seeing, you know, that rush for victory there, which can hit some players. Giap sort of fell for it as well in this case, wasting a Panther, no machine gun even turning allowed to shoot at the infantry, so basically it managed to do nothing at all. That was a lot of manpower and even more fuel there basically thrown out by Giap. So I mean, you know, don't just float about, you know, try to have more armor on the field as you can. Had Giap done that, he would have had a much better chance, I think. Instead, you know, it ended up rather the opposite. Rather the opposite. Action there, getting Panzer-Schrecked, and there we go. Hole opened up in the side of the building there, opening up for a machine gunner. So there we actually get to see it in action, that bit I talked about earlier. I mean, you can try and open up this, but you know, it's not quite straightforward. I suppose you could sort of have someone with a rocket launcher or something attack the side of a building, but you know, there's usually no holes, and you know, that way create them. So, but there you go. Who would have thought? Get to see it in the same match I talked about it. Troops attacking like NF. Oh no, exposed. Careful, Giap. 469. Now Hama's sort of really getting a lot more aggressive. We can partly afford. He's knocked out a Panzer 4, knocked out a Panther in short order. That's a lot of resource there for Giap. And the infantry's also beginning to hurt a lot more from all these sort of other defeats there. Hama's got a massive force at the moment. He can sort of really just afford to lay on the pressure thick against Giap's troops, who, as you might have noticed, basically only at half strength there compared to Hama at the moment. So it's going to take some quite strong play that can get sort of, you know, at least stabilise the situation and get up some fresh armour again. Panther 4 is going to be a bit risky, but it's probably still his best chance at this moment with all the infantry and even the light vehicles. Again, I mean, Hama hasn't taken up, and that's basically sort of, you know, again, what partly makes that Panther 4 work at the moment. That calls essentially, you know, Giap's blessing, as long as you manage to take advantage of it. Otherwise, you know, it's not going to matter much. Lots of artillery fire there, fighting makers pushed away. The orbitals are long gone, dead somewhere. Looks like this could have been their final stand. Sandbag stuck here, where there once was a church and a cemetery. Now there's a few tombstones and a few walls still standing out. The roast is rather gone here. Infantry gun, by the way, veterans are free. That's quite nice. More able to sort of quickly more barrage there for Giap. That's not too bad. Large engagement here. Fallschirmjäger manned MG34 Storm Pioneers. Raketenwerfer, still no sign of a Panzerkampfwagen 4 or another Panther. Slightly scattered assault here, not properly coordinated. The forces are initially too spread out, making it easy to sort of be sent back one by one. So that was not the strongest assault there from Giap at this point. But 17 victory points left here for Hama. This is going to be pretty close there against Giap. I mean, If Giap manages just one more successful assault, he could win this. But he's not going for a Panzer IV. The one thing that you make me think he's going for here is not happening. So he's going for another Panther. They still have nothing with the mechanized regiments. The King targets lead out the... Oh, no, he just gave him another Raketenwerfer. He's got 3 Raketenwerfers. And a King's field gun. And an MG-34. I mean, really, at this point, Giap's really been feeding his opponent a lot of equipment. Not exactly the best thing you want to happen. To put it simply. Conscripts pushed away. S-16 moving about. Getting ready to bombard here. Probably silence that German light infantry gun. There we go. Double assault gun fire. He's actually moving away from the building. Afraid from safety out into the open. There we go. And the punishment is swift there. Actually forced to move ahead here with the infantry gun instead of a sort of safe position. Engagement over here. MG-34 being swarmed. More Fallschirmjägers arriving. The support guns here might be able to help the MG-34. There we go. Completely repulsed. Still no armor from Giap. No Panzer IV, no Panther. He's pushed back. He's got 1 victory point there against Hama's 2. And note the way, I mean, basically at this point, Giap is also just thinning out his troops as much as possible. He's not really getting any traction anywhere. And he's getting up all the things he could be getting. A Jagdpanzer against an opponent with several assault guns, numerous anti-tank guns, and plenty of infantry. That Jagdpanzer is definitely not going to achieve much there for Giap. Looks like 1 assault gun there was knocked out, a small victory, but looks like this Raketenwerfer was about to get lost there to Hama anyways. Fallschirmjäger swiftly launching assault there. Victory 2. Good power blend curve behind the troops from behind them, so they have to run through it when they retreat. And that way you can sort of quickly finish them off, but that is not happening. It's not happening in the slightest. Set the line to Raketenwerfer, but when the conscripts go away, they get grenade. Now that was countered, there we go. A half-track moving in. Threatening to end the lives of the Fallschirmjägers. No. So close there, but managed to escape. And there we go, we got the Jagdpanzer arriving. And Fallschirmjägers got horribly wiped there. Horribly. MG-34 there caught in a pretty bad position. Jagdpanzer realises there's not really much for it to do. Moment, lines of gun firing. Halfway to Veteran 4 and the more impressive bombardment. Quite as many shots, there we go. MG-34 almost wiped out. Jagdpanzer got a good hit there. Oh, semi-good. Half-track easily escaped. No way of finishing off the job there. There you go, looks like Giap has just left at this point, given up, realising he's probably thrown this match away. So there you go, game over. A victory for Hama, a loss for Giap. Pretty brutal fight in many ways, against some more slow pace, but also more deliberate in many points. Giap, you know, making some mistakes apart, you know, getting more armour when he could have, and then of course also the way, you know, sort of, once he lost the Panther IV, was close to victory, he just, you know, lost in a sense, rushed in the Panther and got it absolutely wrecked. And looks like the Jagdpanzer then will also help towards the realising it's lost, because again, versus the force composition that Hama has, it's absolutely beyond useless. It's not going to help him anything, never saw all the forces that Hama has. So that really didn't help anything. But although kept a nice cool head despite the situation, in short he didn't, you know, rush out units, it waste them much, I suppose. Could have used some more mines here and there. I suppose a tech up though would also been nice, but he managed well there with his lighter vehicles, his assault guns. That was quite nicely done there. Giap initially also handled well, but there were some odd decisions there mixed in from time to time, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there with the Giap. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you the issue and matches. If you did want to subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in replay or some feedback in the comment section. This is Phil Deng saying cheers, thank you for watching, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.